Good day, everyone. Hope that you are doing great on this beautiful day. And welcome to Wealth Academy Podcast. And our mantra is wealth is more than just money. We have a wonderful guest, someone I've been wanting to interview for quite some time, and her name is Denise Joy Hart. Welcome, Denise. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing awesome, Paul. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, fantastic. And I want people to take this into consideration. This particular episode is all about interior design, but it's going to go further by magnificent homes and interior design love. I want everyone listening and viewing to keep this in mind because we're going to work on this. And throughout this podcast, Denise, one of the things I want to know, an inquiring mind wants to know is, what is the genesis for you being involved with and working in interior design? It's a beautiful field because it changes things. So if you be
Yeah,
willing to share that with us and kind of give us a bit of your backstory.
sure.
Mhm.
Sure, absolutely. So, actually, I'm a visual artist
Oh,
by heart and by
yeah,
sort of instinct, and then by training. And
sure.
so, I naturally was very drawn to color theory and spatial harmony and things like that. And when I went to college, I thought I was going to study set design, but they didn't have that, so I became an actress.
I like
So
that.
anyway, what's really interesting is when the pandemic hit, everybody was
Sure.
indoors and I was
Uh-huh.
taking a daily walk and I was meditating and
Yeah.
something asked me a question, really the spirit of the Lord asked me a question, said, if COVID took you out, what would you regret? And instantly I said that I did not fully expand on my interior design gift.
Oh,
And that
wow.
day I went home and said, what should I do? And the
Yeah.
Furaha Method of joyful design was born.
Ah, fantastic. I can't wait to learn more about that. Now, is there someone in particular, someone special to you that assisted you with this this heart for, pardon the pun, heart for design?
Yes. Actually, it was two people. Really, it was
Mhm.
two people personal to me. And then I
Sure.
have a couple of professional design mentors. But
Yeah.
the two people personal to me, first of all, my mother,
Yeah.
my mom, Donna Jean, and her
Uh-huh.
sister, my aunt, Laura May.
Yeah.
My mom, people have heard my story. I lived in 13 different homes from the time
Uh-huh.
I was born till I was 17, and we were
Okay.
not in the army. We had to
Oh,
move a lot. But my
sure.
mom was gifted at setting a space up quickly and making it feel like home. And
Yeah.
it taught me the value of filling a space with
Uh,
things that have meaning for you and that will lift your mood. Now, my aunt, she
yeah.
was a bold, bad sister. That
Uh-oh.
sister put suede panels on her living room wall, honey. And I thought,
Uh-huh.
whoa,
Oh,
she took bold risks and all these choices. And as a result, they really taught me to keep my design style fresh, contemporary, modern, and blend some classic pieces because it'll keep a room timeless and
yeah.
inspire joy for a lifetime. Now, two of my professional design mentors,
Uh-huh.
Sheila Bridges of
Yeah.
Harlem Toile
Yeah.
and Bridget Romanek. She's a self-taught designer like myself.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I tell you, when you mentioned, I know your mom, she threw it down, but she
Yeah.
knew about how to make the environment safe, try to make it fun. And then with your aunt, what I think about, the first thing I thought about was Paris, right? She's putting
Oh,
suede on the wall, it's out of the box, and it's
very
not
much.
something, and people aren't ready for it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, she was so adventurous. My
Uh-huh.
mom was a little more, laid back, but the
Sure.
two together had so much of an influence on me.
Ah, fantastic. And then when we look at your other design experts, the people that you work with, what was their particular style, if you will?
Well, Sheila Bridges, the professional
Yeah.
designers who are
Uh-huh.
my virtual mentors,
Yeah.
she has a very we have a lot of alignment because she has a
Uh-huh.
lot of that Afrocentric
Yeah.
inclusion in her design methodology,
Uh-huh.
as well
Yeah.
as vintage and modern pieces, sort of blending time periods, which I just love. And Bridget Romanek is
Yeah.
I feel she has much more of an architectural quality in her
Ah,
work, which I really respect.
uh-huh. That is wonderful. That's wonderful. And I want to just go into the Furaha method. Of course, this came
Oh,
along when the pandemic came and you decided, this is my day. This is the day that I made the decision. I'm moving forward so I won't have any regrets. Let's talk about that, get that method, if
yes.
ever, interior
So I,
design.
so I tell you what happened. My middle name is Joy, as you
Yeah.
say, Denise Joy. And
Uh-huh.
I always joke and say my parents did a double whammy, put me as Denise Joy Hart. I got joy in the middle of my heart. That's
Uh-huh.
a lot of energy. So I
Absolutely.
knew that I wanted to honor, right? And
Yeah.
that's the first principle in the Furaha method of joyful design. Honor yourself. And
Yeah.
so I knew that I loved that Afrocentric diasporic energy, and I wanted
Uh-huh.
something that represented that. So I did some
Yeah.
research, and Furaha means joyful in Swahili. And so it was
Wow.
perfect. It
Yeah.
honored me, the center of my beingness, which is the platform of joy and
Yeah.
that well-being. And I developed out the 5 principle. Number 1, honor yourself. Fill
Yes.
your home with things that you love.
Uh-huh.
Number 2, treat yourself better than company.
Yes.
Most people, you don't fix your house up till somebody's coming over, right?
Uh-huh.
Number 3, you want to include meaning and age in your home besides yourself.
Exactly.
And number 4, stop settling for, oh, that's good enough. You know
Yeah.
why? Because it never is.
Uh-huh.
It's never. And
That's
the
right.
last one, allow joy to have permanent residence in your life. Those are
Yeah.
the 5 principles by which I design and approach helping someone transform their space.
Well, I think that is just awesome. And again, it's a certain style that you have. Now, when you're talking, it takes me back to my days in high school. I did a lot of drafting. I did it
Oh,
for 3 or 4 years. But in my drafts, I always had this concept about, well, how would the rooms look? I build a house in the blueprints, but it was always the next step. What do I put on the walls? What do I put on the floors? What type of furniture? And being from the state of North Carolina, furniture is a big thing down there.
right. Oh,
That's
yeah.
where a lot of it comes from.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I always envision for myself. And I know people listening also have their own unique vision. So let's talk about it just a little bit and about the thrifty DIY designs with
Yes,
joy.
that's actually the name of my YouTube channel.
Right. Yeah.
One is something fun and uplifting for people
Right.
to just quickly graft to. And I spend, although I do share videos of the room makeovers
Sure.
and redesigns that I do, I spend a lot on that YouTube channel, really
Yeah.
showing people how to do it themselves. Because,
Yeah.
DIY is a thing and people they want to go for it. Although usually, well, not usually, sometimes people do the DIY and say, wait, I need to hire a professional. But but
Yeah.
so one of the shows, if people really love design shows, they
Uh-huh.
should watch my DIY duo redesign. That's
Oh,
2 seasons on my YouTube channel. It's a fun show where
yeah.
I go to a homeowner's home, and in
Uh-huh.
2 days we utterly transform a room in their home.
In
Now,
two
the
days.
homeowner has to do some DIY work, right?
Yeah.
Usually it's something like maybe spray painting something or sanding something or prepping a room, because I'm going to do the bulk of the work. And then
Yes.
I also help them to uh, design a room on what I call a custom on a budget philosophy. That means
Exactly.
they can get something special on the budget that they're working with. So how do we
Uh-huh.
do that? We keep some of their furnishings, we repurpose it. We might go to Facebook Marketplace, maybe even the thrift store, and
Sure.
pull a space together and give it all of that wonderful energy that's going to make it what I call a destination they love to be in.
Yes. It's as if they're going to a hotel.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
hotels
yeah.
are very unique in how
Like
they do things.
the last room I did
Yeah.
like that, the homeowner kept saying, "This room is so grown up now."
Look out.
She said, "It's so grown up."
Uh-huh. That's a good room to have.
Yeah, it
Because
was so
I
much
know
fun.
I've seen your Facebook posts. I've seen your YouTube channel. I've seen some amazing work. I tell you, one I really, really like because the colors are popping is that patio with the red. Now that one,
People,
I
yeah,
could just I can just take that and say all day. That's so beautiful. I
that
really
was
love
fun. I did that this past last summer,
it.
and it
Uh-huh.
was really a lot of fun to really awaken that space. Color, because that's reds and yellows and oranges, and it really
Uh-huh.
awakens the senses and uplifts you. So that's kind of like where that color theory comes. But you could do that with neutrals, blacks, whites, browns. It just
Uh-huh.
depends on what kind of vibe you want. And usually that's the first question I ask folks is, how do
Yeah,
you want to feel in your space? Because that's going
exactly.
to dictate the choices we make.
Exactly. Especially given the fact that more people are home. You also do projects for home offices as well.
Home office is the number one space. I
Yeah, that's
mean,
the
I have
one.
done so many. I'm actually doing a remote home office for a client in New Orleans, right?
Okay.
No, not in New Orleans. I did the home office in New Orleans previous, and I'm doing a living room in New Orleans. I'm getting my New Orleans mixed up.
That's
But the
okay.
home office is the #1 requested space. Like you
I bet
said,
it is.
that the pandemic has required us to be working from home
Uh-huh.
more often, more consistently. And people are looking around and they're not settling for having the laptop sitting on the dining room table anymore.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. They
They
want a
want an
tool.
environment that's
Yeah.
going to make them feel supported, cared for. I call it a
Mhm.
reciprocal exchange. You pour
Yeah.
something in, and when you come in that room, it gives it back to you.
Exactly. And that's something they can't get in an actual office at work.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
So it makes it
And
even more unique.
yeah, many people are more productive working from their home
Yeah.
office for the very reason that you say, that
Yeah.
the environment, the space just makes them feel just more welcomed. And so you relax and you do more work and you do it better.
Exactly. Now, I did do a little bit of research, and the actual room that you're in right now, that you actually drew that
Oh,
design.
yes, absolutely.
Talk
So
to me about this a little bit.
this piece, it's a wall, but I think
Oh,
of it as art, so I called it this piece. This piece behind me is called Decipher That. And
yes.
actually, I'm going to take that pattern and create some merchandising. I'm going to have pillows and
Uh-huh.
wallpaper, all based on the pattern on the wall behind me.
Sure.
But that is inspired by African indigenous textiles like
Uh-huh.
kuba cloth and mud cloth, which I'm a huge, huge fan of.
Uh-huh.
I like to bring those elements into spaces, and so as a visual artist, I also use a lot of graphic and bold graphic abstract
Sure.
work, and so
Uh-huh.
it's just really a default for me to bring something very powerful, punchy, and graphic into a room.
Ah, fantastic. Now, you also have the design love.
Yeah,
Now,
that's my
that
new
was,
show.
yeah, and now, do you have an episode of that tonight that you're gonna actually do?
Well, actually, this is more of a pre-launch,
Pre-launch.
just a
Got
way
it.
to kind of get the word out. And we're just going to be on Facebook Live tonight on my
Sure.
page at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time
Okay.
tonight, Wednesday, January 26th. And we'll do it for the next several Wednesdays, kind of a wind down Wednesday, have a little
Exactly.
beverage and just have some fun talking about life and design because the show will actually be a recorded show and it will
Sure.
launch on my YouTube channel in March.
Okay. Got it. Is it gonna be a different website, or they're on
It'll be
YouTube?
on the
On the
YouTube
same?
channel.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll
Okay.
be right on the YouTube channel. You'll be able to go there and watch the episodes as they launch every month. It's going to be a very different kind of show because I'm blending that sort of you design your life, you design your home as the approach where we really talk about how you can't get away from the fact that your space
Yeah.
affects your life.
Exactly. Very true. Very true. Now, let me ask you this question, and I'm asking this because I'm a dreamer myself. I've known this since I was 11 years old. I would actually dream things and they would happen. Does the same thing happen to you for some of your rooms, some of the spaces that you work on?
Well, I'm a visionary.
Okay.
100%.
Got it.
So, I love to get the inspiration for a
Sure.
catalyst for a room. It might be
Okay.
a color, it might be a piece of furniture, it might be a little whatnot, something that
Exactly.
says we're going to build this space around this item, and then the elements of the space start to sort of fill in the blanks, if you will. It
Right.
starts to fill in,
Okay.
and so then I can literally see how the room is going to look. And so sometimes a homeowner, they don't have that gift. They're like,
Exactly.
oh, I'm glad you can see it. And I say, trust me, I
Uh,
can see every part of what is going to create harmony and balance and
balance.
cohesiveness and a sense of well-being in this space. And I just
Exactly.
love it.
It's kind of like a feng shui type thing.
To some extent, yeah.
Experimental.
Feng
Yeah.
Shui is a very
Um,
specific Japanese principle,
Sure. Yeah.
using direction, north, south, east, and west, and light,
Uh-huh.
and so it has a very
Sure.
specific principles
Uh-huh.
to that particular principle.
Okay. Fantastic.
Where a door should face versus shouldn't face. It's pretty technical.
Uh-huh.
Feng
Now,
Shui is.
thank you for that, Denise. Now, you mentioned earlier that you was into acting, And so I want to move over to
Yes.
that side of the chapter and talk about
I
that.
love it.
Please share some of the experience that you have as an actress.
Oh,
And,
sure. It's so funny. Like I said, I thought I was going to study set design because I had this
oh,
visual arts hunger. And when I got to Howard University, they had a set design class, but they did not
ah,
have it as a major.
got
So they said you have to pick something else. So I studied acting, which I enjoyed. I was
it.
good at it, in fact.
Uh-huh.
And sort of I guess my claim to fame from a TV side is I was a recurring character on
Uh-huh.
HBO's hit drama series, The Wire. It was a
Yes.
really fun project to work on. And it was a little bit odd when people would
Mhm.
recognize me and sort of send me emails. It was that
Sure.
type of popularity to
Uh-huh.
it. But I had a great time. I did a lot of theater acting.
Uh-huh.
I also ran a performing arts training studio in the DC metro area for
Oh,
20 years,
wow.
training kids and adults in acting and writing and movement. And although young people did not have to want to be famous
Sure.
actors, a couple of
Uh-huh.
them have become famous
Oh,
actors,
wow.
including Samira Wiley. Many people
Uh-huh.
know her from Orange is the New Black. She's
Right.
currently on The Handmaid's Tale. She
Uh-huh.
attended my program for 5 years as a little 9, 10, 11, 12,
Oh my God.
and then Asante Black, who we saw
Uh-huh.
first on When They See Us, and
Yes.
he's currently on This Is Us. He
Uh-huh.
really got the start of his training at my summer program, and
Awesome.
he was a very shy young lad, but he's
Uh-huh.
changed it.
You kind of
But
grew
there's
out of it.
hundreds,
Uh-huh.
hundreds of people we affected,
Yeah.
hundreds.
And then you also had the performing arts training studio.
Mhm.
And then you also you taught drama at Howard because you
I
attended.
still do.
Yeah, okay.
I still teach drama. So I have taught as a professor at Howard University for 21 years.
Uh-huh.
And I will retire from Howard University. And honestly, this interior design sort of second season career is my
Sure.
retirement gig, right?
Retirement.
But
That's the
you
truth.
you don't want to wait to build your retirement gig until you retire. You want to start it so that when you retire, you ease on into it.
Exactly.
And so,
Exactly.
yes,
Keep take,
21 yeyears, I've taught so many folk that you see on TV
uh-huh.
today. I don't
Uh-huh.
want to start shouting folk out too much, but because I don't want to forget someone. But Burgundy Baker of The Shy, and
Uh-huh.
Ryan Jamal Swain of Pose,
Oh,
but many young people that folks see on TV, but in front of and behind the camera. I am anointed and gifted at
uh-huh.
helping people transform their life, which
Yes.
is what many people call teaching,
Yes.
right? The teaching
Yes.
profession. I look at it
Absolutely.
as helping them transform their mindset and their skill set so they can pursue their dreams.
Yes, absolutely. And I know one of the things I looked at last year is that prior to the pandemic kicking in, you went out to Los Angeles and you were working at, let's talk about that project
Yeah, I
specifically.
worked. I actually am still working in that program, but
Okay.
because of the pandemic,
Right.
we can't go to Los Angeles
Physically.
because
Right.
it's a pandemic. But that's
Uh-huh.
a wonderful partnership called Howard Entertainment between Howard University and Amazon Studios. And
Yes.
so in that program, we teach a selective cohort of students to help them eventually change the inclusion
Mhm.
paradigm in the entertainment industry so that more people of color, African American, Latinx, Asian, will take on those executive roles, those
Yes.
decision-making
Uh-huh.
positions in an industry that has a 75-year history of lack
Sure.
of serious inclusion.
Exactly. Yeah, I know
So
what
that's a
the
great project. I mean, that's a groundbreaking project to work on. So I feel really good about making that kind of a contribution to change an industry.
yeah, I was following that on Facebook. You would post your pictures and different
Yeah.
activities you all were
Woo!
doing. And that was really interesting. And when it stopped, I was like, no.
I know. Well, the pandemic stopped everything for
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
everybody.
The
We
pandemic.
didn't
Yeah.
we didn't know what was going on, right? We just
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty tough, no doubt. Now, you're also an author of two books. Let's talk about what's the name of your books and what's the message that it's have for your readership.
So I actually have one book, and
One
that
book.
book is
Got it.
called Journey to the Joy of Truth. It's a
Okay.
spiritual guide to help you become more of who you really are.
Okay.
Um, so the book is a series of 12 stories
Uh-huh.
centered around life experiences of myself and friends and family members who joined me in these particular situations. Some of the
Sure.
stories are told from my perspective. Some
Yeah.
of them are told from my friend or family member's perspective, which is really fascinating to see their take on a situation. And then it's filled with prompts for the
Yeah.
reader to take
Take
a
action.
take an examination of their life as it
Uh-huh.
relates to that story, so
Yeah.
that they can really begin to self-check. I
Yeah.
always say increased self-awareness helps you self-correct quicker, sooner, faster. And
Yes.
so the goal of that book is to increase self-awareness, do check-ins, because we're all growing, or we ought
Yeah.
to be. And so as a result, we need to learn how can we self-correct as we're on our pathway to achieving what we want in life.
Okay, that is wonderful, wonderful. And again, I didn't say it earlier, but I want to congratulate you on the 21 years, because that's a lot of work, a lot of effort, and people don't see what's happening in the background. But that's,
No,
yeah, they don't see it. They see the success.
the fruit. Yeah, they
Yeah, they
see
see
the
the fruit,
fruit.
but they don't see what goes into that seed and watering, planting, etc. Yeah, so congratulations on
Thank you.
that.
Thank you very much.
Now, you also provide motivation each day, because I read it. So you have the motivational mojo.
Listen, it's so funny how that all started. That started in 2008 on Twitter, believe it or
Okay.
not. If Twitter had just started, I think it had only been around 9 months. And
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what to put on Twitter.
Sure.
Social media was really kind of just
Just
starting
getting
out
started.
those early
Yeah.
days. And I love to motivate myself. So
Uh-huh.
really the messaging was directed to me
Sure.
more than really to an audience per se, because I would go back and look at my own stream and get pumped up. And so
Exactly.
recently someone said to me, your Facebook page, I go there every morning to start my day because
Inspiration.
I just know I'm going to see something good. And I said to her, well, let me tell you something. 98% of what I put on there is for me
Exactly.
to go back
Uh-huh.
and look at and pour into myself, to keep my cup full to overflowing. And I said, and I'm glad it's blessing everybody
Yes.
else
Yes. I
because
read it myself.
because it's really directed to me first. Reminders, affirmations,
Yeah.
check. Sometimes you got to check yourself. That's a little
Sure.
pinch.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it's not, ooh, that's nice. It's like, ooh, that hurt.
Exactly.
And
Getting
so
that
sometimes it
mindset right.
has to be on both sides. So I'm
Uh-huh.
just glad that so many people have told me, like yourself, that they read the posts and they get a lot of encouragement and a sense of empowerment and an invitation to minister and check in with yourself.
Exactly. Yes. And that's the first person we want to check in with every day. I had a post recently that said people oftentimes look around for help, but they say your best help is going to be what you see in the mirror every morning. It's going to be
Oh,
self.
that's good. Come on, Paul. That's real
Hello.
good. Oh no, that's very true.
Oh, yeah.
I always say
Yeah.
after I say my prayers and
Uh-huh.
appreciations and to the Creator and to God and just show my gratitude, then I start pouring straight into myself.
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
pour into that cup till this feel like, girl, I can't take another good word.
Yes. Absolutely. So that thank you for that, and that is wonderful, because we all need to be empowered each day, because life challenges are really tough sometimes.
That's right.
Yes, and one of the things, and I want to get back to the interior design here real quick, and if you want to leave a parting word for people, and we'll close it out after that. Parting word with people who are afraid to take the next step to do the DIY and to move
Well,
forward
here's the
in
thing.
2022.
For folks who are a little apprehensive about DIY, go to my YouTube channel. You can
Mhm.
get there by going to customonabudget.com. It'll take you straight there and watch some of those videos. They are step-by-step tutorials, kind of holding your hand through. And I speak a lot of good, encouraging words to help you build your confidence. So watch somebody else doing it, take notes, and give it a go. Start with
Exactly.
something simple too, like
Yeah.
painting a wall.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's a great idea, and it really, once people get started, they can't stop.
Oh yeah, your confidence will just start growing after
Start
that,
going.
and also don't go for perfection, but also
Right.
don't settle for sloppiness.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so thank you so much for that. Now we're about to close up and wrap up this episode. I tell you, it's been really a lot of fun, Denise Joy Hart, and I know that you're going to continue to bless people with your gift, with your expertise. Is there anything else you want to impart? How do we get people to see you tonight on the
just go
8:30?
straight to my Facebook page. My Facebook page is my name, Denise Joy Hart.
Okay.
And, my page is public, so you can watch the Facebook Live straight from there. And I have a little fun I created an alter ego named Sister Linda, and she's going to make a special appearance on the show.
That's
Have a
what
lot
that
of
is.
fun.
Yeah, I
And
saw
so
Sister Linda
we're
on
just
there,
going
but
to cut up.
I was trying to figure out who is that.
Listen, let me tell you something funny. My own brother didn't even know that was me.
Oh
He
my
said,
God.
"That's you?" Yes.
I know. I kept reading something that says Sister Linda. I said, I wonder who that is.
Oh, we're gonna cut up. We're gonna have a good time.
Oh, very nice. And that's going to be 8:30 tonight.
Yes.
And so we want you to follow her. So Denise J. Hart, thank you so much. Joy Hart, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And again, she was an excellent guest. And I've been posting on Facebook to say that she's one of the most creative, visionaries, most bright mind walking the planet and the universe. And people need to know more about you. And this gives them an opportunity to do so. So thank you very much. And again, she leads Thrifted DIY Design with Denise Joy. So thank you all. And Denise, thank you. And I look forward to seeing Sister Linda out there. Thanks for reminding me. All right. So have a great evening, everyone. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Wealth Academy Podcast. And we just had a great time with Denise Joy Hart. And we need more guests like her. So thank you very much, Denise, and have a wonderful evening. All right. Have a great night, everyone. And I'll see you on the next episode of Wealth Academy Podcast.